Hi traders, this is Vance Williams. I'm the developer of the Forex Art of War strategy. This is a trade that I entered on Tuesday and which closed out early this morning. Each week I feature a trade that's made by myself or someone I'm working with that's a trader. This week I just chose to show you my trade again, and this trade's almost identical to last week's trade, but it really should be if you're actually using a real trading plan, right? This is definitely trend trading. For me, the easiest way to trade and the easiest way to teach others to trade is just to identify clear price movement and then trade in the direction of that movement. Now, this is about the time, see where my mouse is, on Monday that I got up and I was first looking at the charts. And what I'm seeing is a potential trend change here. And one of the things I'm wondering is, today, is the trend going to be going up? One of the things I definitely will look at, I have a technique called New Waves, a technique I developed, and I would draw it right there. And I'd be looking for price to basically close above that level for a trend change. Now you'll notice that at the time, about the time, a little after that time that it closes above there, these moving averages, this is the 21 and 55 EMAs, you'll notice that they cross. And I have them kind of set so when I know when the trend's actually changing over, they're a pretty good indicator. So you see right here when the faster one over on the left, when the faster one was going down under the slower one, that basically said we're in a downtrend and we only want to look for a sell, like maybe right in here. And so they're pretty accurate. They're measuring the average balance of buyers to sellers, and they do a pretty good job. And I keep an eye on it to make sure that they're doing a good job. Now, as this trend starts to develop, there are naturally going to be sellers still in the market thinking that this trend is just going to go back down again. They're not looking at my chart, they're looking at this price movement, right? And so what I'm doing is looking for indications that the movement up, in this case, is getting stronger. So I would consider this a young trend. Now I put two blue lines in place here, you can see on the chart, and I would put these lines on about this point for the pound USD. Now why do the lines go there? Well, over many years I've noticed that these levels are very important to gauge the strength of the trend, and the first trade I would be looking for is between these two levels. So moving forward, you see this candle forms in the middle of the range. I'm really looking for price to pull back here so I can get a reasonable stop and hit that target. But what happens is price just shoots right to that line. It just leaves me behind, and that's okay. Now the next level I'm looking for was right here, 161.24. So if I get a close above this area, this is going to be showing me that this trend is pretty strong and it's likely to move above this area. And by the way, this is my primary trade right here. This is the same one you saw me take last week. Now you might be wondering, why does Vance think it might go all the way up here? Well, let me show you real quick. Let's use this tool right here. I want you to notice when the moving averages cross, and we can pick anywhere, but let's say when the moving averages cross, if we were to go almost to the bottom of that, you'd see it's 93 pips. Okay, and so a good trend on an intraday chart is going to move, according to that, about 93 pips. Let's look at the last uptrend. Well, going to our handy dandy line, we go up here, go up to the top. Look at that, 99 pips. Now let's go to our most recent move. How far is it from the trend change point to that blue line? Only 88 pips. So you start to kind of get the idea. So as long as I'm seeing trend strength, I'm saying, hey, this thing's got the strength to do what it normally does. That sort of thing. So it's not really that complicated. When price is trending, it tends to move 90 pips or more for the pound. Now, how did I know this wasn't likely to go sideways or reverse? Well, let me show you. So first of all, I missed this move because it was just moving too fast. But the most valuable thing you can do in trading is to know exactly what you're looking for. This will help a lot with the psychology. You have to know exactly what your setup is. If you don't, it's basically like the old saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Well, that's kind of what happens to traders every day in the market. All right, now wasn't able to catch this trade this particular morning. It just kind of hovered and stayed at that price. And the day progressed. I probably went on and did other things. And now we're getting about into my sleep time. And we're getting into London Open right about now. And moving across, moving forward, about right there. This is about probably when I showed up. Maybe just a little bit later. Yeah. No, a little bit later. About there. That's when I showed up. So when I showed up on Tuesday morning, I saw, here's the first thing I saw. I saw my barrier from where it went the previous day. And then I saw that price had like 4 bullish candles. Bullish, 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 bullish. So it's really looking like it's going to break this level. But I'm not going to buy on that basis. I'm only going to buy if it closes up above this level and really shows me that the strength is there. So it goes down again, and moves up. Okay. So when price moves up like this is basically where I'm going to be looking to get into this trade and basically trade to this blue line here. And the actual level is right here. You see that? Just continue to close just below it. And so on this next candle, I'm basically setting up my trade now. It's closed above, and during this candle, it drops back right to here. Drops back just a little bit, and I think as I was pushing the button, it might have popped up a little bit, and I ended up getting actually it was 160.97. So I got in about right there. My target is known. Now there's something else. If you've listened to my materials in the past, I teach that there are 5 elements that affect your probability of winning any trade. One of the 5 is market conditions, which I often call investor sentiment. If the investors in the global financial markets, usually New York is what I watch the most, if they have an appetite for investment today, this would be negative for the US dollar. This is essentially because money is moving out of what we call the safe haven, the US dollar, and is moving into higher risk instruments. So if you see me writing that investor sentiment is positive or neutral, this means that it's congruent for a buy on the euro US dollar or a buy on the pound US dollar, or really kind of bearish for anything that's US dollar. Now, just before I took this trade, investment interest was positive, but I could see that the numbers had really almost tripled over the last few minutes, so I felt really good about buying right here. Now the stop position is obviously below the barrier. This is my stop right here, and I just like it. This is called a swing low, and so this is the last swing low. This is the last place price was able to swing down to, so I've got my stop just below that barrier. The entry is not that critical. The target's critical up here. The stop loss is critical, but the entry is not that critical. In other words, at minimum, I want to be risking $1 to make $1. So here's kind of what that would look like if you just took a box, and here's my entry down to my stop. And if I duplicate that and put it up here, oops, you see I got lots of room. This is risk $1 to make $1, but I've got lots of room here. So really, my entry could have been probably all the way up here. That'd have been fine. Now, so what happened? Well, what happened? About the same thing that happened last week. Last week it went up, missed my profit target by 2 pips. This time it missed by 3. And then it did what it did last week. It came down, and it just, went sideways. The day progressed. And, it made a move back down into this barrier area, which is another potential trade for those of you who are a little more conservative. And then it starts to make a move up. Now, that's London Open about right there, the second candle from the right. And so you can see it starts to make a move. And when I woke up, price was about right there. So it already hit my target and made the move. Now, someone did comment this morning, "Hey, Vance, man, look what all you could have got." That's a novice. That's novice thinking. I mean, no disrespect to the person. It just shows that they just don't know a lot about trading. We had no idea that this trend was going to go another, 70 pips. We had no idea it was going to do that. What it normally does is it normally goes 100. Okay, this is something unusual. And you want to base your trading decisions, you don't want to be greedy, and you want to base your trading decisions on something that repeats over and over again. It doesn't go an extra 70 pips very often at all. But it usually goes 90. And of course, you have to have some techniques to measure whether the trend is getting stronger or not. And that's part of trading. So that's it. Essentially, I'm just doing a few things. I'm identifying the trend. I'm watching different things to see if the trend's getting stronger or weaker. I'm choosing a reasonable area to target for profit. I'm choosing a good place for my stop loss, and then making sure I have a good relationship between my entry, stop, and target when it comes to risk to reward. You can follow my analysis Monday through Friday with Price Alert. You can sign up for email notifications for that, and you'll basically get an email when I'm live and online. I want you to notice that my analysis is not vague. It's very specific, and I tell you what I think before it happens. If you go to forexartofwar.com, you can get my free book, The First Battle. You can sign up for the Price Alert notifications, and you can check out member services. For those interested in learning how to do this step by step, I'm offering a very low price special until the end of the year where you can actually work with me one-on-one. But be sure to visit forexartofwar.com or email or Skype me if you have any questions. So that's all for now. I wish you the very best in your trading.